I've been asked to talk to you about my career a little bit, about some of the jobs that I've had. I actually, when I was at college doing my A levels, I did A level music and English and religious studies. And whilst I was working there, I worked on a strawberry farm. It was basically a farm in the sense that they grew berries there, so strawberries, loganberries, raspberries, and it was one of those, I don't know whether you've ever been, but one of those pick your own places. So families would come along for the day. Once the strawberries and berries were ripe, they would come and get a basket. They would go off into the strawberry fields and they would pick strawberries for themselves. Then they would bring that back, get them weighed, and pay for whatever quantity of strawberries they had. Obviously, most people would have eaten a few on the way round, so I'm sure the management in some way added to the price of strawberries per pound or per kilogram to take that into consideration. I loved working on the strawberry farm because it was great. We'd get up obviously quite early. We'd have to go down and tend to the strawberries in terms of watering them. Sometimes we'd have to put straw around the base of the strawberry plants because the weather would have turned cold and they would need to be protected from any kind of frost or water damage. When it came to harvest time, when the sun was out and the strawberries had got that beautiful, sweet, ripe smell, we would go for hours just sitting down, picking the juiciest strawberries, putting them into baskets of a certain size, and we had to fill them very carefully so they weren't overfilled. And you know, your hands would get sticky with the strawberry juice. The smell of the strawberries was intoxicating, unless you didn't like strawberries. And I have to admit that after a few weeks of doing it, you did get to the point where you wish you never had to see another strawberry again in your life. One of the other jobs I had was washing glasses in a pub. The pub wasn't a traditional pub. It was set in a place, I'm not sure whether you've heard of it, called Bliss Hill. And it's a Victorian town, basically. So the pub was a Victorian pub. Everybody that worked there had to dress in period costume. And I used to dress as, you know, the kind of quintessential serving wench, with the long skirt and the sort of lace-up bodice and things. And I used to collect the glasses and wash them, but I wasn't allowed to pull pints because at that time I was only 17. The most exciting thing that ever happened there was that once we had the World's Strongest Man competition take place. And so we had a man called Geoff Capes, who in the 80s was one of the leading contestants in the World's Strongest Man competition. So my claim to fame is that I've washed Geoff Capes' glass in the pub.